Hi, I'm Todd Caponi, and for today's tip, I want to focus on those that are in the interview process, that are looking for a job and going out for interviews, because that really is kind of a sales pitch, right? And this tip also applies to anybody in any sales situation, but the story is specific to that. I had an individual reach out to me a couple of weeks ago looking for a little advice. He was going in for a final interview, and it was going to be in front of a panel, a virtual panel. And the problem that he was facing is that the job requirement listed out that he is required to have 5 years of SaaS tech experience. And as it turns out, he had none. And he knew that the other candidates had the requisite experience. And he wanted to know, how should he deal with that during the interview? And here was the advice. Lead with it. Start the conversation with it. Be vulnerable. Lead with what potentially could be a flaw, because that panel, they're probably all thinking it. They're all realizing it. And if we come out and address what could be the negative at the beginning, it is incredibly disarming. It builds trust. And when you start talking about the pros of who you are, or if you're selling a product, service, technology, what those are, it goes through the brain's filter much more effectively versus when we feel like we're being influenced. And so that's what I told him to do, to start the conversation by saying, hey, listen, before we get too far down the path, I do understand that the job requires that I have 5 years of SaaS tech experience. And unfortunately, as you know, I don't have any. So can we talk through that requirement? Because if it's going to be important, I'm probably going to save you a lot of time here. But obviously, I also am super excited about this role and think I can do great in it. But again, if that's going to be the main criteria, let's address that now. And he did exactly that. And fast forward a few days, he not only got the offer, but he took it. And now a couple of weeks later, he's working there. The point is, we are wired to not only try to predict our experience, which is why 82% of us, when we're looking at reviews on a product online, will go right to the negative ones first. But when there's something that's bothering us, we want that addressed up front. When you think about any sales situation, if there's something that could potentially be a roadblock, addressing it at the beginning versus addressing it at the end will make all the goodness in between resonate much more effectively, because it's built on a foundation of trust. So give it a try. If you're going through an interview process, what are the reasons why, if you were in the hirer's shoes, that they wouldn't want to hire you? Address those things, especially when they're obvious, especially when they're aligned with what the job requirement is going to be. And you're going to find that you build trust and you end up with more options, because I'm telling you, the effectiveness of that approach sells. Transparency sells. Leading with your flaws sells, and your imperfections could be exactly the reason why you get your next job. So good luck. Try it out. Can't wait to hear how it goes.